Hello, this is part 2. So I am halfway through the list of 23 decks for 2023. This is a wish list for 2023, and I think that I'm gonna go for it this year because there's so many decks I want to work with. There's so many new things I want to incorporate into my own life. There's more things I want to do with tarot. I was in a slump for a really long time, and I considered quitting this channel. I may still do that, but I'm really reconsidering where tarot fits in my life. So we're gonna go from there. Now we dropped off with the Surrealist Tarot. We're gonna go to the next, what is it? I don't know how to pronounce this. Ferenc Pinter Tarot. It's on Llewellyn's website. I really enjoy the artwork. There's something about it that I feel like, I don't know, it gets at the deeper desires between relationships and people, and I want to explore that. There was one card, I think it's the 5 of Cups, that looks so beautiful. It's 2 people. The cup that I'm mentioning is 2 people, and they're not facing each other, so you know their backs are to each other, but there's just such a longing that especially in the woman's expression, like there's such a longing there that I really am drawn to this deck. And so the deeper desires, deeper wants, really interesting. It also kind of reminds me of Great Gatsby with some of the cards. Even though Great Gatsby pisses me off, like that story pisses me off. Like Daisy pissed me off. I'm gonna be real. Like I'm just like, yo, you were not worth what the fuck he went through. But okay, some bull crap. You know whose side I'm on. Team Gatsby. Mad as hell. Daisy pissed me off for real. Number 17, Wisdom of the Shadow. This is another like oracle. I'm interested in another emotions deck. I forget what it's called. What is it called? Oh my god, I wrote it down. I just can't. I don't have it, and it's not on this list either. But I'm really drawn to the artwork of this deck. I kind of just want to do a lot of emotional release, emotional processing. Like I'm in school to do massage therapy, and I feel like I may want to incorporate this into my practice. Like I have real life practical applications for these decks. It's not just like I want to be in a cupboard studying them, and that's fine if you're doing that. I kind of think I would implore or like encourage you to like read for other people, to get experience reading for other people, because it's a fun thing to kind of like have that energy bounce off of others. I don't know. And you can kind of see how this relates to other people, not just you, and kind of open your circle up of knowledge. Yeah. So Wisdom of the Shadow deals with like different emotions and different things on the cards. So like fear, shame, resilience, discomfort. It kind of reminds me, if you know Soul Cards and Soul Cards 2, you might like this deck, but it has the added words, right? And it's particularly kind of in the vein of like more emotions and processes. Processes as in like words that deal with metamorphosis, boundaries, like wisdom, like stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, then I would check this deck out. I missed the sale, I think, on one of the defective decks, because that's a good route to go. Defective decks. If the only thing that's fucked up about it is the box, like why, you know, like if the deck is like $50 and it's like $29.99 now because it's like a defective box, why not go for that? You know, like look, standards are low. I'm kidding. The standards are low. But I do want this deck. There's another one that this creator has. It's Wisdom of the divine feminine. I'm not as drawn to that one. I like the artwork of this one a little bit more, so I think I'm gonna go with that. I'm like, I think I'd rather go with it. So there's that. Next is number 18, the Talisma Tarot. This one kinda, if you like the I feel like if you like the Serpent Fire and you like the Mandel's Tarot, you might like this. This is another kind of collage kind of deck. Collage decks are like my thing. If you like the Ritual Tarot, you might like this. It has a border on it and it has words on it and shit. But you might like it. If you like the Voyager Tarot, you might like it also, because that also is another collagey kind of deck. If you're a collage deck kind of person, consider this one. But I do think the Serpentine Fire or Serpent Fire Tarot, along those veins, I think you'll like it. Kind of psychedelic-y. Even if I'm looking at it now, if you like the Dakini Oracle, you might like this deck. It's just a tarot. It's a tarot system instead. You know, you might like it. Because the Dakini pulls from like a lot. It's a lot of stuff going on in that deck. So that is another one. The next is the Somnia Tarot. There's just something about the photography and how this shit is put together that I really like. There's something really dark about it. I have the Darkness of Light Tarot, and it kind of feels like it's along that vein, but like live action, so to speak. I really also wanted the Spolia Tarot, but the Somnia Tarot is like a very beautiful deck, and I feel like it's really, there's something about it that I kind of feel like hints at your fears and subconscious and riddle me this, and you know, having to learn patience when it comes to speaking with an oracle that is telling you the truth, but in a way that makes you work for it. But then when you figure out the truth, they were telling it plainly the entire time, right? Like, you overcomplicated it. So there's that. So I'm interested in the Somnia Tarot because, yeah, it seems like a deck to do. I don't know if it's going to be so shadowy as it looks, but I'm open to it. I'm open to it. You know what I just thought looking at this? The Woodland Wardens may be a deck that pairs well with it, because it does seem like an archetypes deck. Like, you run into this archetype on this path. And like I said, the Woodland Wardens felt like you were going on a path and you had two directions you could go into. And that's how this feels. Like, this is the oracle that you meet along the path that's going to ask you the question, and you got to figure that answer out. And by the time you figure the answer out, you've done this whole journey, and you can, you know, yeah. So there's that. That's number 19. Number 20 is the Pagan Otherworlds. I just like the deck. I would honestly buy every fucking deck on that website. I would. Like, it looks so beautiful. The Pagan Otherworlds, to me, I just like the artwork. I would go with the, what is it, the Super Oracle, and then what's the other one, Materia Prima or something like that. I would go with those. Those are like runners up. Like, this one I really wanted for like years, and the Eros like tarot, I would get those. But the Pagan Otherworlds, I like the idea of it. I like the journey. Someone, like, I think this is Blatherby, was saying that it's not a deck that's very interactive with you. Like, if you were to pathfind, it's kind of like it gives you a lot of space, and I'm interested in that. I'm interested in getting a lot of space. You know what I was thinking just now? You know when, like, in Harry Potter, they would travel and they would like pop into certain spots. That's what it feels like. It'll help you pop into quantum points in time. And but it's more like you're not going to enter. You might You might interact with this. It's like a butterfly effect. Like you got to observe what you should not touch so it does not create a ripple effect. So there's that. Number 20. So number 21, the Wizard of Odd Tarot. Not the Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Odd. O-D-D. This tarot deck has haunted me. Both of these decks from this website have haunted me for years. And the reason why is because I had an entire list. I've had so many decks saved. I have favorites on my laptop, and I had it saved on my old one, and my old laptop broke and I couldn't see on that shit anymore. And I had this deck in that list. I don't even know I don't even know the other ones, but I remember that one because I was like, the way that I saw the deck, it had so many elements on it. If you want to study Kabbalah, it has it. If you want to study elements of Ifa, if you want to study music, if you want to study angels, like on this deck, it has a bunch of stuff that you could learn. And I knew that it was just something. I wasn't ready for it then, but bitch, I'm ready now. I'm fucking ready now. And I really have wanted this deck for so long. Like, it's been like a good 2-3 years since I've known this deck existed. And for me to have wanted that deck for that long, watch I get at me so disappointed. That'd be so sad. But I wanted this deck for so long. You can tell which ones I'm real hyped about, right? So long. Like, oh my God. Like, yeah. Like, I've wanted it for so long. I was particularly interested in the music part. I knew that sound was going to be important because I'm very attracted to sound. I listen to music in different languages. If you want to know, my top languages are Swedish, Spanish, French, as far as music that I listen to. But, you know, when I was a teenager, I watched anime, so I listened to Japanese, then I listened to Korean, you know, I've listened to music in Russian, I've listened to music in like just so many different languages, like a Mongolian. Like, I've listened to music in different languages. So, and I'm interested in the idea of glossolalia. I'm interested in light language. I'm interested in that realm of stuff. On my more conspiracy theory side, right? Deep dive kind of side of things. I'm really interested in that. And consciousness without words. And let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one because I'm too hyped for this. I'm too hyped. Yeah, I'll be like, this is it. If I don't get no other deck, I feel like if I get this one, yes, and you can tell which ones I really like. So that's 21. So basically, the decks are almost done. Number 22 is the Orbital Tarot. I like this one. I feel like death energy kind of surrounds this one, and I want to explore that. And the death card was the card that I was really interested in. So the Orbital Tarot, it just kind of looks like, think about atoms, you know, like in chemistry, right? Yeah, chemistry. I was supposed to say physics. No, that's not it. In chemistry, how they look, that's kind of how the deck looks. And it's like tarot. It's a tarot. And it's a different way of seeing tarot because it's no physical, there's no humans, right? There's no humans, there's no animals, there's no plants, there's no crystals. It's like atoms. It looks like atoms. So I'm really interested in that. It's been like about 2 years for this one too. And the card that gets me every time is the death card. Because it just, when I look at it, I just hear like a whisper, like Harry Potter when Sirius Black got hit, and then he like looked, like in the movie, and he like looked at Harry, and he was like, and he just like faded back into the veil. Like, that card reminds me of that scene of just death will take you, and I want to explore that. Number 23 is Poesis. This deck is an oracle, and if you go on the website, it's pretty cool because they have poetry associated with it too. I just like the larger concepts. I think that it just seems like a lovely deck to explore, like wordplay, word meaning, word concept, even word roots. So like the root of words, you know, the origin of words, the parts of a word, like, you know, like it comes from the Greek, it comes from the Latin, it comes from this, it comes from that. Like, I feel like this kind of deck works with that. So if you're good with words, you're a wordplay kind of person, I feel like this deck may be up your alley. It's an oracle deck. It does have keywords on it. I'm looking at it now. But I do think that, like, if you're into bibliomancy, you might like this deck if you're into bibliomancy, you know? So, go with that. And I have a bonus. I have 2 bonus. Grandma Baby Apothecary. I don't have any Lenormand. So this website, it's a black owned. So if you're into POC, or just straight black decks, you might like this one. So I kind of wanted to get the Hoodoo Tarot, but the answers are like, no, you're not getting that, like, at all. Because every time I like go to reach for it, it's like, bring it back, bitch, bring it back. So I like never got the Hoodoo Tarot. I am interested in I think I renamed it, but the Ghetto Tarot. But I feel like my answer is gonna like be like, just stop. Stop trying to be a voodoo priestess or some shit. Like, just stop. Just do you, right? So Grandma Baby Apothecary, I want the Lenormand deck because I just want to explore Lenormand. I first did my Menses reading based on like the kind of Lenormand-ish, the only Lenormand-ish deck that I have. It's not a proper Lenormand. They kind of took some liberties with it. But I want a proper Lenormand deck. And I liked the concept of this deck. Because, you know, everybody does tarot and oracle. Sometimes Lenormand deck is like cool. Like, you know, not every concept needs to be tarot. And some people don't even have an idea to make like 78 cards. Like, some of this stuff you're trying to create really could be its own concepts. Lenormands, I Ching cards, something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't have to be. You know, I think people have this idea, like, if they wanted to create a deck, it has to be like some of these established kind of decks. And it's like, no, like, you can do your own thing. You know what I'm saying? Do your own thing. So there's that. That's one bonus. And then I was looking through my list of decks, and this one stuck out to me because it's like the only one I think that has this style. It's the Dark Futures Tarot. It kind of looks like this. You know how those old not Rosie the Riveter, that's not what it is. It's a certain art style where it's like really angular, it's sharp angles. The architecture style, would it be from the early? I feel like the architecture style, oh my god, if I can show you, I think there's a famous building in like Chicago that like has this art style, like Gilded Era, like Great Gatsby. It kind of reminds me of that, but the artwork, oh my god, it's so hard to describe. I'm not great at describing this, but it's essentially artwork from like that Gilded Era type. Is that the right word? Roaring 20s, maybe. Oh god, I can't fucking. Let's just go ahead and end the video, right? End it on a sour note like that. All right, anyway. But Dark Futures Tarot, I think it looks more dystopian, but I'm just interested in it for time jumping, time meditation, jumping between time periods. And so that's where that is. So I hope you enjoyed part 2 of this topic, 23 decks for 2023. I hope you enjoyed the first part. I hope you enjoyed this part. If you watch 22 decks for 2022, of 2022, parts 1 and 2, my personal decks, and the ones I use to read. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. These are longer videos, so they're going to take a minute to get uploaded to YouTube. But I hope that you enjoyed all of this, and I'll see you